Hey guys, it's John Moore with the Texas College Football Show. We are live. If you're at Fanatics View, get down there, you see that. And we are going to recap what we're going to do is we're going to recap the game of the week, which was Texas A&M versus the Auburn Tigers. That thing's winding down right now. There's about a minute left. Texas A&M just took the ball over from Auburn after a stop. I got a lot of thoughts on this game. I got to tell you what. If you're not impressed with A&M right now, you should be. But there's some questions, and the questions are I've got questions. First of all, let's look into the game and what happened. Marcel Reed ended up 15 for 22 with 207 yards. Final score on that one, by the way, Texas A&M 16. The Auburn Tigers are 10. I'm a little confused. I don't understand that everybody is so high on Auburn, and I don't get it. I know they've got a good defense, and they do have a good defense. It's not bad, but I'm a little confused, to tell you the truth, at why everyone is giving Auburn all this love. Jackson Arnold is not great. I mean, let's be honest. If he had any kind of arm at all that he could throw, everything was run. Texas A&M defense was good in this one, but to be quite honest with you, I don't get the hype on Auburn. It's a good win for A&M. And you know what this game reminds me of? A&M, it kind of reminds me of what Texas did to A&M last year. A&M was clearly the better team. Their offense was shaky. They made a lot of stupid mistakes and still came away with the win, but they totally kind of just controlled the entire game. Jackson Arnold couldn't get anything going. It looks like what did they have total? 155 total yards of offense total. Now that's very good for A&M, and it looks good for Texas A&M, led by Mike Elko in that defense. The problem is Auburn isn't a good offensive team. What they did to Baylor is because Baylor doesn't have a great defense, quite honestly, and they ran the ball up the middle. But you got a Mike Elko, defensive-minded coach. He saw what he needed to do quickly. He put everyone in the box and said, "You're not going to beat me running the ball." In fact, they only rushed for 52 yards total in the game, and he made Jackson Arnold the guy that has to beat him. And quite honestly, Jackson Arnold can't beat you. He can't beat really anybody with a good defense, to tell you the truth. So I don't quite know. There was a lot of preseason hype about it. Was kind of in the same boat that A&M was, if you remember this. Everybody that was doing SEC, everybody that looked at SEC and what was going on kind of looked at A&M and Auburn in the same light. These are two teams that could be good, and they have a chance if everything goes right. They could compete for an SEC title. I don't know where they saw this in Auburn. I didn't see it. I thought Jackson Arnold might be good. He didn't get a chance at Oklahoma. Let's see what he did there. When he gets over to Auburn, he didn't do anything. I got to be honest with you. I wasn't impressed with Jackson Arnold, and I haven't been impressed for 2 weeks. Oklahoma, who I do not think is as good as A&M, held Jackson Arnold down too. And, lucky for them, they've got a good quarterback and going there. Marcel Reed was not great today. If you look at Marcel Reed, he only threw for 207 yards, threw for he had the one touchdown he threw was come back because of stupid penalties. He had the interception. The only reason Auburn got a touchdown, in fact, the only reason Auburn got any points at all was because of mistakes that were made by Texas A&M that led to them. The 72-yard interception that Marcel Reed threw the ball high, trying to set up that little bubble screen out to the left, and it was a high ball that went up. He tried to get it, he tipped it, and it fell into Xavier Atkins, and he goes 72 yards. And then it was pretty easy to get in from there. They were going to have 4 plays from the 1-yard line to get in, and Arnold did. Arnold can run in space, and he got out there and did that. But oh my gosh, if you're an Aggie fan right now, you're number one on the Texas College Football Show. I've kept you at number one for 2 weeks. You'll remain there. There's nothing here that didn't, but you've got some stuff you've got to take care of. Let's look at the first half. I mean, the first half, the game was 7-3 at halftime. Bad penalties. Remember, Regis is the one that led the penalty to extend the drive, and it put them in field goal range when Regis had the penalty. In the first half, Auburn only had 105 yards total. They end up with 155 at the end. So they were held to a lot less in the second half. And the only reason they were in the game was because of the interception on Marcel Reed. A&M sort of took the view that A&M sort of took the view that Ohio State did when they played Texas. And what they did is they found out pretty quick that Jackson Arnold wasn't going to beat him with his arm. The only way that they were going to beat them is if they could establish any running game, because if you put the ball in Jackson Arnold's hands, he was kind of like he was like Arch. If you look at what Arch has done, he was not making his reads, he was checking down early, he was too quick to run the ball, which Arch wasn't, but he was not going to beat you. And A&M gambled on that and did it. So what that meant offensively, with Justin saying in the Ohio State game, they didn't expand the offense much, and that's what Texas A&M needed to do. They established the running game. Le'Veon Moss is the hero of the game. I mean, 139 yards. He had that one long run, 21 carries. When he came back in, that injury was a little scary in the first half, but when he came back in and did what he did, he controlled the game. Now, they shut him down there at the end, but it was kind of obvious what was going to happen in doing that. And I think that Elko knew, look, try to run. Maybe Le'Veon can break something here late. Other than that, we're going to punt the ball away and keep them down there. He played conservative, and he should have, because I didn't see Auburn doing it. I mean, what were they, 0 for 17 on third down, something like that. They didn't convert a third down the whole game. Let's see. Have I got that here? Let's see what they did on third downs. I don't got them right there, but you got to give. And the hero of the game on defense for Texas A&M was Torian York. He played an amazing game there. Marcel Reed had a couple of fumbles through the interception. It was a bad interception. It was a bad throw. It got tipped up, and Atkins caught it and took it. But this whole game was basically A&M playing conservative football, and it's all they needed to do. The time they tried to get a little cute, it ended up costing them, and it put this game, truthfully, this game was 16-0. They should have never scored those 10 points. Those 10 points were scored off Texas A&M mistakes, but Texas A&M can clean that up. They had a lot of penalties. Both teams had a lot of penalties. I don't know that in looking at Auburn's schedule and what's coming up, I don't know what Auburn's going to actually has got coming up. I don't see them winning many games, and I'm sorry I don't have the schedule in front of me. Let me get it up here in just a second. But A&M could have won this game by 30. They just kind of played conservative, pulled the ball in, reined it in, because they realized that they weren't going to be able to do that. Now, A&M's got some stuff they need to clean up. They're truly a team that can compete for the SEC, and I don't see any reason why they can't. But the way they played today, they're not going to be – I mean, they've got some games ahead of them that are worrisome that they can win. Texas being one of them for sure. That's a game that they've really got to worry about with Texas. If Texas can get any kind of offense going, their defense can shut down that A&M defense. You saw what Auburn did today to A&M. Auburn has a good defensive front. Their secondary is not great, but that defensive front kept Marcel Reed in check. He didn't really do a lot. He did throw for 207 yards, but one reason that it opened up for him is because they had a running game. A&M ended up rushing for 207 yards, led by Le'Veon Moss, but ended up with 414 yards total, 207 passing, 207 rushing. I mean, it was split evenly, but they played conservative football, and they did exactly what they needed to do to win this game. Fantastic. I'm proud of A&M and what they did. You guys know I'm a Texas fan. I'm a big Texas guy. I am new to this live thing. I don't know if there was a way that I could get any sort of comments or questions going into this. I don't know, guys. I'm new at this. And Texas College Football Show's new. Fanatics View is new at doing live. We're going to get this better. We're going to try to do this every week, do some kind of a live show. But I wanted to get an instant recap like this. Texas A&M wins at 16-10. A lot of you Aggies were nervous coming in this one. It seemed like a trap game. Never really turned into that. A lot of mistakes made by Texas A&M in this game, and they still just controlled the entire game. You should be proud as Aggies. I think that it shows that you've got a pretty good team here. Auburn fans, boy, I don't know. I think you guys came in with too much hype, kind of the way Texas came in with too much hype. But you guys Texas was overhyped, but they're still a good team. I don't see it with Auburn. You guys don't have an offense. I love the defensive front for you guys. But moving forward, you're going to have to play Alabama. I don't know if you can't get an offense going. I don't know how you guys will win the Iron Bowl doing that. A&M, you guys could run the table here, quite truthfully. You've got some big games coming up we'll see. Let's see. What is the games? Let me see what you guys actually – what's coming up for A&M as we get into this. because I look at that schedule for A&M now. Mississippi State, did you see what they did today? That's one that's coming up, but you're coming up next week. You're going to be going to Mississippi State. I don't know. That could be a tough one there. I got you winning that one. Florida, you're hosting Florida. Actually, you're hosting Mississippi State and you're hosting Florida. That's going to help you a lot. Mississippi State is not to be trifled with this year. I don't know what the final for that one was with Mississippi State, but they were playing Tennessee well. Arkansas, looks like Arkansas might be mailing it in. I don't see a problem there. It's the LSU game that I had as a loss for y'all. I don't think I'm going to have a loss for that one right now. If you saw what LSU did today, you got at Missouri. That one, depending on if Missouri has showed something there, that might be a game to worry about. I think you're more worried about Missouri and Texas than LSU and Texas, to tell you the truth. I don't know that LSU can get anything going with the defense. If Elko can keep the defense doing what it's doing right now, I think your games you got to worry about going forward is probably the Missouri game and the Texas game. I think you guys it's at LSU. I know that could be a problem with what the guys did to them last year. I think that'll happen. I think you guys will beat them. Good win. My prediction at the beginning of the year was that A&M would go 9-3. One of my losses was Notre Dame was Notre Dame. I changed my mind right up to it. I changed my mind that week, and I thought that A&M would beat Notre Dame, and you did. I had you beating Auburn. I didn't think it would quite be this close, but you beat Auburn, who everyone's pretty hyped on. I think you're going to beat Mississippi State. You're hosting them. You're hosting Florida. I mean, Florida has not been good. So I think you're going to win that one too. At Arkansas, I know that it's always the trap game that you guys worry about. Arkansas usually plays you pretty good, but I think after the loss today and how bad they looked, I don't know. They might have a new coach in there by the time you guys go to Arkansas, but I do think that y'all will end up beating LSU. We'll see how it goes forward from here. As of right now, I have the right to reserve and change my mind when we get to it, but I think that Missouri is the game that y'all should be worried about at Missouri because you're going there to play. And then I think you'll beat South Carolina. Obviously, that Samford game is a win. Texas, right now, I give the slide edge to A&M over Texas, but Texas is about to get into a part of its schedule to see what's going on. And we'll see where we stand on that getting to it. I do have you losing to Texas from the beginning of the year, but like I said, I changed my mind on the Notre Dame game, and I was right. Good win for the Aggies today. Good win for the Aggies, 16-10. You looked horrible, and you won 16-10. That's why it's a good win. You don't look at this and go, yes, all of that. You guys didn't look great. You had a lot of penalties. You got some stuff to clean up, but you took care of a team that a lot of people thought could come in here and sneak one away from you guys, and A&M handled it, so good for them. Guys, this is a quick recap we were going to do. We're going to look, this is a brand new show we're doing this year. We're gonna every week we're gonna have a game of the week. We're gonna try to do a recap after the game, do something like this. Hope to get 10, 15 minutes out of it, kind of recap what happened and what we saw. Big win for Texas A&M. Countdown will come down Monday, and we'll recount down the top 13 again. Not a lot of movement at the top, but the number 4 team did lose. They did lose. So we'll see what happened with that TCU, and if anybody jumps ahead of them, they look good. But that Arizona State game, I thought they were going to lose. I had them winning that game, even though at the beginning of the year I had them losing that game. I changed my mind this week and thought TCU would win that game. They ended up losing. Very close. Good game last night. Guys, we're going to wrap this one down. Monday we'll get out the top 13, and we'll get our game of the week picked for this next week and see what it's going to be. Until then, thanks a lot. Guys, we will see you on the gridiron.